Some people have to deal with a lot more in life than others. Construction workers, firefighters, surgeons, these are some really good examples. But none of them even come remotely close to being a casual anime fan in this day and age. So what I've been noticing is that casual anime fans can no longer exist without being called the L word. A Larper. And dear lord, do I despise that word. So since I've been making a few glazing videos, I'm starting to run out of words to call something good here. I've kinda used up all my dialogue options. I'm gonna have to pull out the thesaurus soon. But until then, it's time to start hating a little. And today's topic of hate is the word Larp. In the anime community. Not because it's specifically worse in the anime sphere, maybe it is, I don't really know, but it's pretty much all I interact with on the internet, so that's all I see, so I can't really compare it to anything else. And obviously I'm not referring to the original meaning, the live action roleplay LARP, I mean the one that's used to call someone a poser. Quick prayers out to the live action roleplay community. They were chilling with their word until one day some dude just popped out of nowhere, socked them in the face, stole their word, and disappeared. And the word's now being used for evil. Just straight up tragic. At first I didn't really see the word all that much until I started seeing it. And now I can't stop fucking seeing it. It's literally everywhere. It's like a wildfire. It just keeps spreading. Everywhere I go, I see it. Every comment section. LARP this, LARP that, LARPer, whatever it's happening. You know, it's like the Spider-Man meme where Tom Holland goes. Everywhere I go, I see his face. It's just the word LARP. It fucking haunts you. It's like walking onto a farm trying not to find crops. And now on the internet, it seems like everyone is just considered a LARPer. Real people who watch these shows just don't exist anymore in the minds of some of these people. It feels like people who watch anime can no longer just be casual fans, and I think that sucks fat crusty ass. People just keep spamming that word, they just keep throwing that word around all the time. And the word is losing its meaning. It already lost its meaning from live action roleplay to now being used to call someone a poser, and even now it's losing its meaning again. People are getting too wild with the usage of the word, they're getting a little lost in the sauce. Quick interruption here, this is a monumental moment. Bang! We just reached 6 members. Now that's 6 pairs of balls, that's pretty cool, appreciate that. Please continue. At first, it was about pointing fingers and laughing at the popular people who pretended to like anime because it's extremely mainstream now, so they might get a couple more followers, more people to make money off of. Look at this, I watched this popular anime too, just like you guys. I'm very relatable, I'm very cool, I know ball. I love that Luffy D doggy guy just as much as you do. You and me, we are on the same boat. We are a community. We are One Piece. All of us. And you know, personally, I don't really care about those guys or feel super annoyed by them. They're just great to laugh at and they're just embarrassing themselves, getting the most basic things wrong. You know, how I see them is basically they're in a party. They come through the crowd. Everybody step back, make room, everybody, watch this. Then they go for a backflip and just eat shit. So, you know, they're great. They're great to laugh at. They're not doing anything bad. Also, I have to say, 2 hands in the air. Don't want to sound like I'm fondling the balls of Feastable CEO here and lawyering up for him, but Mr. Beast. He's soulless, he's an anime LARPer, he ruined YouTube, he's a piece of shit, I don't like Mr. Beast. Now you can call him out for a lot of things, but an anime LARPer is not one of them. I know this is pretty old, it's like 2 decades ago internet time, but I just want to point out how people use the word randomly. He was tweeting about anime since 2018. And he's probably been watching it before that. Let's just take all of Tesla's money and put it towards making anime. That seems like the best possible outcome. Anime greater than drugs. I wish I lived in an anime. People that don't watch anime are fucking weird. 2019. Overlord is the best anime ever. He was horny for anime. The guy's been horny for anime. He was polishing the flute to Albedo since 2018. So, you know, fuck Mr. Beast, I don't really care, but at least you gotta shit on him correctly. He was getting completely deep fried for saying JJK looks really good for the production cost. $150,000 per episode, which we don't even know if this is true, but people saw this and something unbelievable happened. Everyone, on Twitter of all places, put all their differences aside and just came together as one and fucking destroyed this man. And I still don't know what's so evil about his statement. But people's reactions to it made it seem like he said anime titties should be banned, that stuff is weird, it should not exist in anime, they ruin anime. Although the One Piece one was weird. That guy did not watch One Piece, he did not like it that fast. He is lying through his teeth. Even as a non-One Piece watcher, I know One Piece takes a couple hundred episodes for it to get good. Anyway, thing is, these people aren't really doing anything bad. In the big picture, it can lead to some of their fans going, oh wow, my favorite content creator watches this show, I should watch it too. The series is getting more exposure, and most of them are giving the anime a big thumbs up. You know, they're fake, but hey, at least it's positive, sunshine and rainbows, hip hip hooray. Cool, anime becoming more popular, anime makes more money equals more anime equals more underpaid animators. But yeah, I feel like the worst type are the people who watch anime clips. You know, they watch 4 edits, 3 scenes, looked at 2 pages of the manga while ignoring every single line of dialogue possible, fucking text blind, and they start vomiting out words in a somewhat negative way. Well, it's not really negative, but it's a good example is people who watch JJK on TikTok will say, Tuka Donka is supposed to be Akari's jackpot song. We want that. We should start a petition for that song to be used in the anime. Now, when they start saying shit like that, it gets quite annoying. And the worst part is, there are a good amount of people who agree with that. Nope, we are not gonna be hearing the funk song. Hate to shatter your dream here, hate to wake you up from your wet dream, but context is, it's a romance series in JJK called Private Peer Love Train. Its theme song is called Admiring You. A bunch of baddies, full-on erected penis, we're all hard, we won't be hearing I believe the term for that is tourist. It's when newcomers start coming and then they go, this should be changed about the show, I don't like this, complain about things when they barely know anything. Those are problematic, and it's negative. So to me, that's way worse than LARPers who are clueless, but at least they're still saying nice things about the show. Anyway, so people generally hate LARPers, and with anime being more popular than ever, there are more LARPers, posers than ever hiding among us. It's like a zombie apocalypse, and the infected are all hiding their bite marks. The LARPer could be anyone. Could be you, could be me, could be your parents, your pet dog, pet cat, or even your fish. And so with the dire, world-ending state the community is in, another entity spawns. Which is the group of people who call everyone who gets something slightly wrong or they don't know something about a series a LARPer. Oh, okay, your favorite show is Cyberpunk Edge Runners? Then tell me what color are Kiwi's nipples? And what episode do we get to see it, and give me the exact timestamp. Now it feels like if you're gonna drop a comment about an anime engaging with the fandom, having a nice human-to-human conversation using words, you have to be locked in. It's like writing a research paper. You have to know everything about the series, you can't miss any little details. And you have to choose your words very, very wisely. This comment is worth 100% of your reputation. So that means you can't just be a casual conner who enjoys the anime. You have to be an expert, you have to be the guy, you have to be the author. You have to live and breathe the series. If you're going to say you like the show and you watched it, you better have watched it at least 5 times and notice every little thing, because there's gonna be a pop quiz on this. And if you fail, there will be consequences. A punishment far, far worse than death. You will get Larp Sahurd. Now that is just completely over for you. 2 more of those and you won't even want to know what will happen to you. Just know, 3 strikes. And a century from now, you'll end up in one of those worst punishments in human history videos. And I blame the word LARP for it, because now I'm sure there are a lot of casual fans who are just getting to the series and they genuinely like it, it's cool, but they're afraid to interact with the community or say anything because it seems like everyone is just constantly trying to catch you with your dick out and squat on your face with one of these gifs. I think this whole LARP thing in general is diarrhea from a butt. The LARPers, the LARPing, the people who keep using the word LARP wrongly especially. Liking popular anime equals LARPing. If your favorite anime is, example, Attack on Titan, Death Note, JJK, just really popular shows like Solo Leveling. Oh no, Solo Leveling is crazy. If your favorite anime is Solo Leveling, there's no saving you. Not even God's going to hold out a hand to you. Anyway, point is, that is not called LARPing. That is just a casual viewer. Or they could be watching for a long time, but they just like action. Because you have to pretend to like the series, when in reality, you don't know shit about it. You haven't watched the anime or read the manga to qualify as a LARPer. So watching the show already ruins your record. That's the worst thing you can do. You no longer meet the requirements. Sorry buddy, but you're not a true LARPer. You're not a part of the team, you're not welcome here. So those are normies, they're casual viewers. They just want to see the most popular ones. And that is completely normal, because obviously if you're hopping into a new medium, you'd want to see an Attack on Titan, a Jujutsu Kaisen, a Death Note, rather than a that time I reincarnated as a fleshlight in a world without women and be scared for life and never touch anime ever again. You gotta start with the mainstream ones, the really popular ones, because crazy words are about to leave my mouth. Those things are popular for a reason. You might think it's ass, but they are at least doing one thing right. Like Solo Leveling, not the biggest fan of the show, I think it's mid, but I can see why people like it so much. And once you do that, anime really clicks with you, then you go down the rabbit hole. You start exploring, you go outside, you learn how to tie your shoelaces, you start picking up the fucking isekai, you watch My Dress Up Darling, and then you just start watching a bunch of bullshit. Even the World Cup, Football Larper Starter Pack. If you like these players, you are Larping. And honestly, I still can't wrap my head around how every country around the world all came together to set up this massive global football event, all because they saw it on Blue Lock. That is insane. So we got these super popular players, Jude Bellingham, Erling Haaland, Julian Loki, and Lamine Yamal. And it's the same thing I said about anime. If you actually watched the matches and you became a fan of these players after watching them perform in the World Cup, then you are a casual fan. You are not a LARPer. And why are people even mad at others for only watching the World Cup? Acting like it isn't the ultimate global event, the biggest sporting event that only happens every 4 years. It's the peak of the sport, it's the peak of football, so it makes sense to want to watch it, see what's going on. Just look at this. Can't even like Mbappe without being called a LARPer. Sob heartbreak emoji. This guy though, Bread, he knows what he's talking about. Can people not just enjoy things casually anymore? And you know, that's what I'm saying. Bread knows exactly what he's talking about. You know, in a world full of everyone calling others a LARPer when really what they mean is a casual fan, be like Bread. Just look at how happy he is. So I'm wondering, are people just LARPing the word LARP while calling others a LARPer? Now this post is a great example, an example of all time. This post kind of tackles two of humanity's greatest problems in one go. JJK spoiler ahead for all the people who just recently gained access to the internet. I feel like everyone's already been spoiled at this point. The series is just so goddamn ridiculously popular, especially during the leaks era. Oh my lord. There were probably more people who read the leaks than the original release. It was a crazy couple months. People were rabid for those leaks, and the leaker would post them page by page every 5 minutes, and one of the pages got 10,000 likes in 1 minute. That's like Ronaldo posting a fucking picture. And so it became a whole race. Multiple leak accounts popped up, everyone's racing to the Excel to be the first to publish the pages to get the most engagement possible. And that's why JJK fans are dumb as shit, because those pages weren't translated. They were all in Japanese, and so everyone was just looking at the pictures. At the very most, you'd get brief descriptions about what they're talking about in this page, but you rarely get the full translated page. So many JJK fans just don't know what they're talking about, because they just read the leaks. In other words, looked at pictures. It was a crazy time. It was historic. When you get old, you have grandkids, right after telling them the story about how you had to win a 1v1 against an alien in a game of basketball on the moon to stop them from nuking Earth with their laser beam, you tell them about this. Anyway, this post. Why doesn't Yuji have his eye markings here? Is Mappa using AI or something? Now this person probably already knows what happened, it's just a little joke thing, like I don't know what's gonna happen, what's going on, hand on your shoulder, hate to break it to you, who's gonna tell him, does he know? But I'm sure there are anime-onlys who genuinely don't know. Why doesn't Yuji have Sukuna's eye markings here? And that's a good question. So this is a very real question in the real world. Now if you don't know, spoiler, but Sukuna basically takes over Yuji for a bit, he rips his pinky off, he shoves it down Megumi's throat, so Yuji's a free man, Sukuna migrates to Megumi, and that boy is cooked. So now you go to the comments. Some are dropping gifs and images, having a laugh just as expected, boy do I have news for ya. But then, there are also people who see this and go, LARP, LARP, LARP. Add a rule where JJK fans have to read. We can't read. He's not reading the manga at all. And it's like, what is even going on? Anime onlys? Never heard of those creatures. They're a myth. I read the manga, so clearly that means everyone must have read the manga and knows what's going on. And these posts are getting a good amount of likes, meaning a bunch of people saw this and thought, this is true, this guy is indeed LARPing. Or they just think it's funny. So now this might sound insane, but globally, there are more people who watch anime then read the manga. Holy shit, crazy news, drinking water makes you pee. And especially for a show like Jujutsu Kaisen, because the anime is just drowning in love, waterboarded with affection, the anime is so good. So it makes perfect sense to be an anime only. So this whole thing doesn't even make a whole lot of sense, and it's not something exclusive to this post, it's pretty much 90% of JJK related posts. If you're going to the comments to find actual substance, actual discussions, you're looking for the Mbappe special. Most of the time all you're gonna see are Larp and you can't read. Bring back the nah, I'd win, man. Bring back the mitochondria edits. Those were fire.
But would you lose? Nah, I'd win.
So if you have any questions or you're confused about how something works because it was explained very early on in the series and you simply forgot about it, you will not find any answer or have any real conversations with anyone. Tough world we're living in. If you think our grandparents or ancestors had it rough, that's fucking nothing compared to what we're dealing with. You can't even be dumb anymore. What if I've actually watched the series, not once, but twice, but my brain is simply too small to comprehend what's happening on the screen? Nope, you can't do that. You are a piece of shit LARPing asshole. Well, to be fair, there are some stupid sentences where it makes perfect sense to use these images, but I feel like it's gotten out of control, because now it's just used for anything. People are just using it for the sake of using it. Anyway, now the second world-ending problem with this post here is AI. Every single being with a soul's worst nightmare. People will now see anything and just go, AI, that also is AI, it's the AI art style. Instead of wondering about the plot of the show, you know, what happened, did Sukuna quit, did he have a change of heart, all of a sudden he got up and said, you know what Yuji, puts his hand on his shoulder, you deserve better in life. I realized how embarrassing it is for a grown-ass man to be hitting on a kid this much. And he just left, he got up and leave, what happened? But I guess it kinda makes sense with how many generative AI things are out there. Also, another thing is some of these people who like to point out how this art looks like it's done by AI, most of them don't have a single clue what they're talking about. They're just going, that is AI 100%, that's AI slop. What makes it AI? I don't know, I'm just looking at this and the whole vibe I'm getting, I think it's AI. And the worst part about all that, I'm not talking about this post specifically, this guy's just trolling, but other posts where people do that, it can get freaky. Someone starts pointing out random things like they know what's happening, and others would just start believing, me included to be honest. When I see a comment with a bunch of likes giving information, I trust it like family. But sometimes, this might sound insane, comments lie, and artists get harassed. So that's terrible. But yeah, that's it. However, now I've been seeing a couple people who are hopping on the reverse LARP technique meta, where they are reading the light novel, really studying the source material so they can LARP better. I think that is pretty cool. But despite all the questionable things on TikTok, the edits on that app are so insane. It is a crime that I am watching them for free. It feels like I'm robbing them. Anyway, check out this artist. I think this guy's so goated, his art style is so insane, the way he draws the face shape, the facial expressions, dear lord. I will cream my pants.